I was always happy next to the big speaker.
Yeah, yeah, always. But as long as I had bass speakers behind me, I had to have at least one cab, and that's why I like making those cabs. As long as I had a few of those around, the bass players never minded hooking me into their system. And Renard needs some work done on his, and I really wanted to do it for him, but I don't have, I hope he doesn't think I'm trying to blow him off because I told him I'd give him a lifetime warranty on adjustments. Like I love those things, so I'll adjust it anytime. I probably have about 35 of them out there, 30, 35 of them. And
He swore by your speaker.
huh?
He swore by your speakers.
Yeah, but not to me. He never he just said, yeah, it sounds pretty good. He didn't want me to overvalue him. But yeah,
He said this is the one.
that's how I feel about him. I used to make sure I had at least one bass cab behind me, or to one side, just kind of. And those things only were running. They were running 12s, 10s and 12s, baby.
I know we got into that discussion about the 18. I said you got to have an 18.
No way.
Y'all go, no, you don't.
I know. Yes, you should have an 18 right behind your head, not behind mine. It's like a free earthquake. Every gig.
My 18 sounds so good in here.
What?
My 18s are in this room, and they sound so good.
How do you keep them? Well, I'd like to hear them. I believe you. Believe me, I believe you. What?
They're unbelievable.
I believe you, but just especially for the bass, instrument. I'll take 410s over 118 any day, or over 218s. Yeah, they blow right by you though. You just don't understand that frequency is not. It's not. It's almost some of those frequencies are not audible frequencies. I believe, if I remember correctly.
I believe that too. That's absolutely true. But that they're making tones that the tens could never dream of.
Oh, they'll make all tones. You crossovers, bro. Crossovers. Hello.
I have active crossovers.
Yeah, you make your own crossovers. That was a hard part for me because I thought, man, am I doing this right? I always second guess myself. I'm like, am I doing this right? Well, anyway, we're live right now, so we've been live for 2. So, hey, Tony, what's happening?
Nothing much, man. Just getting the system down.
Getting what?
The system down.
Getting the system down. System of a down. What's going on, Gino?
That happens.
I think they can see you.
Well,
let me see. They can see you, dude. That's what I was saying. If we have these crossed up like this, see, I'm monitoring the signal to see what's pegging and what's not over there on the Audacity, but I think I just gave you most of that screen, so let's put you all the way up and see if we can see you in that camera. So you must be experiencing some kind of a space-time continuum over there, because you fade into the background and keep going. Can you turn that off?
Yeah, I still can't see him.
There you go. You can't see him?
No, you can't see me.
Yeah.
Kind of
yeah, right.
Kind of like
I can see you.
That's
mystery person over there against the wall.
Well, that's why we need a different light, because that light, turn it on for a second. It's just too much.
Right.
It washes out the monitors. And then what happened is, it's also that light is splashing the camera. Wait, hold on now. Slow down. You see that mirror?
Yes.
Well, that mirror. Close the door for a second. Okay, that actually improved it. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, you could do that. See, anytime we have to have that, that's why I make sure that mirror's clean every time. But anyway, hello. Yeah, what are we? Well, I don't know if there's anybody in there or not. It says one person. Oh, that must be you. See, I don't know. I haven't figured out whether it counts us or not. Are you over there too?
Where?
Are you hooked into the feed?
Not the Reek of Stench.
Well, yeah. Okay. But if you do, make sure you have your volume, your stereo volume, like muted.
On the
Your
laptop, yeah.
the YouTube volume. You don't have to mute the computer if you just mute YouTube. You know,
So
you can do it at the
you're
top.
streaming now?
Yeah, and it seems
How
pretty.
come I didn't get anything?
I don't know. It says end stream. Yeah, we're there's a live chat. Let me see if this does anything. So, all right.
I need to pull an app up or something.
What?
How would I get it?
What? Hold on. Tell me when you see the message come up. If you're tuned in. Well, I mean, it looks like we're not that for anything because we're just starting, but we've already broken 40 subscribers and we have, I don't know, 600 or more views at least. Sam B. Who's Sam B?
I don't know.
Wait, that's my wife.
Hey, Sam D.
It's my wife. Yeah.
Yep,
That's cool.
that would be her.
Okay. Hey guys. No, I'm just kidding. I told her about that. That's like it burns me. Okay, let's get some rules out of the way real quick. Everybody just come up with one rule. My rule is that whenever we present on this channel, nobody ever says, "Hey guys, okay guys, now listen guys." Like I just can't do that. I don't want any of that shit. Whenever I hear that, I just look for the off button. It's those little things. What about you? Tony's next.
No smoking. Can't do it.
No smoking.
No smoking. No smoking.
No,
Toes.
no smoking. And you mean in anywhere around here on this block?
Man, I can't.
In the whole
look at it.
neighborhood.
Right. I
Okay.
mean, wherever I'm at, let's put it that way, so I don't have to see it. Keep it in.
That bugs him. And how about you, Gino? No bad stereo.
I'd say no falling asleep.
But that's going to happen to you and me all the time. It's already happened to us.
I'm trying to straighten myself up here.
You tell me you weren't falling asleep when we were taping that all day that day with Greg. And it wasn't the material is interesting. To me, it's super interesting. But I was sitting here and I'm sitting here having to like poke myself in the face. Come on, man, stay up now. It had been a long weekend trying to get ready for that.
I want to know how to view this thing live.
You go to, why don't you just go to the channel? You're not logged in as us, right? As broadcast, right? If you are,
no,
okay. So
the
then
problem?
if you go to the channel, no, I don't know. It should maybe Samantha. Did you get a notification that we were live? All the way in New Zealand.
Hold it. I see something. Live now. Hold on.
See?
Over on the right side.
Just took a while to crawl into that end of town. What?
Yeah. I just had to get in there. Okay. I believe I'll be on here in a minute.
All right, so no. Okay, here's my next one. No nose picking, and I'm going to be the worst at it because I want to pick my nose so bad right now.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, I see you. I see you.
Me.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, buddy.
Now you can see what I'm saying. This is the only way I could figure this all. So now, if the guests, whatever guests there are that like Skype in, they're going to be seeing it from your screen, and we'll see them we'll see you guys. Like he's the only one that's getting robbed here because
Can Sam hear me?
Samantha.
I
don't know. Yeah. You could send her a message on Skype and ask her.
I see her message.
Yeah.
It says yes.
But it's the only message I've seen from her so far. So that's what I'm wondering if maybe it's taken a while to get to New Zealand, or I don't know what.
I love technology.
Keep in mind that YouTube takes control of the microphone level, and that's one of the reasons we have to keep our
Right.
microphone level so even. Because, like, I just moved in to see if I could get it to peg up a thing, and it just takes off, hits number 2, and then goes right back. Oop, edit that out, please. So how can I put this at full screen? I should be able to put this at full screen, right? I mean, we're
F10,
you think
11.
should I try?
F11, do it.
Oh, that's a
The
little
whole
better.
thing goes.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, it just expanded the screen a little bit more. Now, all right, so we're pretty good. So you know what? So speaking of rules, and that's the reason I was mentioning the rules. Okay. Well, what was that? Why did you just do that? Oh, because I moved the cursor, you think? Well, anyway, F11, that's probably it, right? Yeah, I remember that's actually true. It's because I moved the cursor. Okay. What happened? Okay, I'll be right with you people. I'll be right with you guys. So here's the reason why I was talking about those rules and stuff, is because on the news today they said, well, you know, it was on Epoch Times, and they were saying, well, you know, hope you've had your fill of talking about the election, because as far as YouTube's concerned, the election is settled. And if you and Facebook, and if you posts, you know, if you throw up posts about election fraud and about you know, evidence or whatever, they're going to take it down.
Mm.
So, okay, she retracted the message. What were you saying, sweetheart? You know, you could actually Skype in if you wanted to. Can you? How do you add somebody instead of just answer it without booting someone? Can somebody find that out? You know what I mean? If somebody were to dial in right now, could we just add them without it being a meeting? I don't know. Anyway, but where I was at,
If she calls in, yeah,
really, you could just add them to the. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So anyway,
call in.
no, it's all right. We got to do this right now. And she's probably taking care of the baby and stuff. But honey, please send any messages you want to send. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. They said they're gonna start censoring. They're gonna start taking down any videos or any you know, posts on Facebook. You know, that's like a concerted thing. Apparently, it started with YouTube. YouTube's going to start shadow banning and removing content that refers to the election and the fraud and the evidence. So I want to make sure I say this like a few times. You know, election, fraud, and evidence. You know, election, fraud, evidence. Election, fraud, evidence. All right, go ahead and take it down. So when this thing's about 10 minutes long, we're going to, oh, wait, when it's about 10 minutes long, we're going to have 14 minutes. So 20 minutes, we'll leave it up. We'll talk for 20 minutes. And yeah, the Supreme Court turned around and they have refrained from taking on the case, the election fraud case. And the reason they gave was because they said they don't have the jurisdiction, the states, to tell the states. Wait, let me get it and I'll read it to you guys. Hold on. In order to do that, I guess I have to.
Now you are trying to get knocked off, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yes, I am. I'm not going to, just because, look, they can tell me that I have to stop talking about it, but I'm not going to stop talking about it.
Listen,
it's clear. It's a clear case of you know, disenfranchisement of all the voters. It's a clear case of fraud, and even now they've been ignoring the whole Biden issue for, you know, his his son I mean, those guys. It turns out I thought it was 7.8 million. It's in the billions that they got from Ukraine. And the same thing with China. And most of that is our aid money that we send through the deep state, which is our diplomatic service, which, you know, they're elected forever.
Right.
You know, so you have this corrupt. That's who's running the country. Really, is the people who are connected with the diplomatic service. You know, intel. That's what you call the shadow government. I mean, they deal directly with other countries, and they can make they make deals. So really,
How
at
do
the
you
end of the day, unless you have a president that's got,
how do you get that?
huh? How do you
You
get
get
them?
in that line.
How
You
do you
know,
get? Yeah, yeah. Well,
I want to
apparently,
run
maybe
things.
you buy your way in. You mean you want a diplomatic
I just want
assignment?
to, shake it up.
It's just amazing,
Can I
man.
comment on the view?
What?
This view.
What about him?
I'm gonna comment on the view. The live view is good. It's a little darker than the one I have on the Skype, but it's got you on the side, Tony, and then me in the back with a
Yeah.
3-second delay. And so it's pretty comprehensive. I'd like to get you turning toward me a little bit in the future, but maybe we
Well,
can't do that.
well, I can
I can
just,
see you in the front on.
I can just scold the camera if I have to. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I will just try to face that way a little bit more. But
You're the star.
huh?
You're the star of the show. You need to be kind of,
Well, yeah, right
looking
from the
into.
get go, I'll do that. But let's see,
That's almost enough right there.
what the monkeys,
Yeah.
the guys on those guys by that oil tank, whatever. I love that picture. I don't know why. It's just like makes me want to act out. You know what I mean? Like misbehave and shit. That's what those guys are. Whatever that is, whatever that means, it's really funny. Those guys obviously have a hell of a sense of humor. The monkey, just the look on the monkey's face, dude. He's looking at it like I don't know. I don't get it. It's like it's art, in a way. Check this out. The inaugural committee, which included, I guess, 3 Republicans or something. They said they rejected Biden's bid to be acknowledged as the winner of the election. These guys have been 100% full time pushing to get way out ahead of it and just make it so that the truth is we won. The truth is we won. That's the truth is Biden won. No, that's not the truth. But I can't. What is that? What a trip! What was that? Did you hear it?
Yeah. I'm turning
That
everything down. How about that?
That was a trip, man. It was like water running through a drain or something. Anyway, I wonder if that's going to show up. That'll be interesting. See how much of this background noise shows up. But anyway, so they denied Biden's request to be acknowledged as or something like that. That's the story I got. Now, I'm paraphrasing because I don't want to copy anybody's, splashy headlines. I really, I mean, we can do that headline reaction thing, but basically what it is about is the information, right? So Dominion is also trying to run out the clock. That's my observation. Is Dominion's like they're holding out as long as they can from testifying. They evaded the several hearings to testify. I think they're just going to try to run out the clock and then whatever happens. Like if they come in now
So,
and they're cold caught, which they are already, if they show up to a hearing or something and it's established, officially that these guys, they're running crooked election, where then automatically everything stops, right? Because that's the way the parrots are trained in this country.
they're supposed to announce tomorrow that Biden won. I heard that on the
Yeah.
news.
Well, the Supreme Court turning down the case, that's landmark. That's ridiculous. But hey, they have a solid legal, like they can rationalize it legally. but the obligation wise, I mean, there is a precedent that calls for the Supreme Court getting involved. Their reasoning for getting involved is pretty weak. Really, their reasoning is, look, we don't really want to rule on this. No, that's not the official one, but anyway. And the same problem with Governor Kemp, here in Georgia. Kemp called the state of Georgia for Biden, even though several investigations are still open. He didn't call a special session of the state legislature because he said that even as the plaintiff presented evidence that is, I guess I can't remember. He said the evidence was fine, but it's not based on the evidence. He presented the evidence that the Constitution doesn't say how the evidence should be used to alter or stop the election. So he said that the reason the state's not taking up the case here in Georgia is because, well, the evidence is compelling or whatever in one sense, but no matter, it's not on the evidence. He said that the Constitution doesn't say how the evidence should be used to alter or stop the election by a state legislature. Really? What? That was my response. This is like 2 days ago.
What will they do when Trump locks the door?
I don't know. I don't think he will. I don't think he's too smart for that. If he doesn't have some way to win, he's not going to, just lose and throw a tantrum, no matter what they say. Really, I don't see it. The guy could be playing golf every day right now. He's doing this because he's like us. He gives a shit. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? It's like, why would they said, oh, he's a narcissist. He would do that. He just wants the attention. What? Really? That's like saying, yeah, I robbed a bank and went to prison for 20 years because I needed attention. I didn't need the money, I guess that's not a good sequitur as far as the analogy is concerned, but that's just the same. Why would you, I don't know. Anyway, at this time, I always
throw that out there.
It's just stupid to think that, this people have been trained to think in this. They weren't, it's like almost like they weren't paying attention before he wasn't running. It's really, it really is a product of the popularity contest that life is these days. It's all about who's going to be the homecoming king and queen.
Popularity. I mean,
popularity, personality politics, they call it.
Yeah, he's really, he's really a stand-up guy when you get down to it. Whether you like him personally or not. Going what he's fucking done for this country, and you gotta like that.
Well, even if you disagree with his policies, he still kept most of his promises. That the only ones he didn't keep were ones that they literally had to stand on his hands.
I mean, who does that in politics?
Nobody. Ron Paul.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
So,
well, and then so basically, he's refusing to stop the certification of the election, but meanwhile the recount did not do any. They didn't do any audit involved in the recount of signatures or anything else. You understand what I'm saying? All they did was recount. All they did was recount the same mistakes they had.
right.
They got the same results.
Right.
They recounted the same various ballot totals. So I don't think I don't know that they examined one ballot. Now, so they pretty much got the same result, but there's several filings asking for an audit of the ballots themselves. That would mean they want to see the envelopes and everything else, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, anyway, they're asking for an audit, and I wonder why they don't want to allow it. Why would they not want to allow it? Just because it holds things up for a while? You got to think of the reasoning here. What?
That's their claim, yeah.
Yeah,
to
think of this
take too
reasoning
much
here.
resource.
We're in a rush to get by this bit, but you can trust us. No, no. I want every ballot in the country counted. You know, every single one. I want to examine every single one. If it takes me the rest of my life, I want to get to the truth. And if the truth is that Biden won, then we take it like, of course that's not what they say, but we anybody, I don't care who you are, if you can't accept the results of an election, then and Hillary's the worst at that, one of the most hypocrites, people. So
I was going to say take it like a man, but I wouldn't count that for her.
she might. I
You never
mean,
know.
look, I hate to sling mud at people, but some people, right, set the bar for mistrust and lack of integrity.
Yes. So
I mean, basically,
she's a
a
white
lot of these
collar.
people are so crooked and corrupt that they don't even really care if you know or not. Pelosi, I hate to, like I said, I hate to use names, but that's a name that's her family's associated with the mob. That's there. There's two. Gavin Newsom, the governor, is kin to her, and so is her son. They all have like a son, like Hunter. You know, Biden. They all have kids. Some of them are involved in the corruption already, and some aren't. Chelsea, for instance. Not that I never hated her, but supposedly she runs. Was it? What's the name of that? Is it BuzzFeed?
Yeah.
No, it's a news organization. Anyway, yeah, she runs the charitable trust for her parents or whatever. Oh my gosh. One word comes to mind when I hear that. Hey. Okay, but anyway, moving on. Like I said, they did a forensic audit of they did a sampling of 100 ballots, and 2 of those ballots were absolutely fraudulent. I'm not talking about ballots that had problems. I'm talking about fraudulent ballots that were either signed with a signature that they know is false or some other way. And they explained it, but I didn't write it down. So, but I mean, so the 2% of, can you imagine how many, so if let's say there's a 2% margin, or 1 out of 100, that's 1%. Well, I mean, let's say 2%. 2% out of how many million people? 3 million in this election here in Georgia. I don't know how many people are in Georgia that are vote. So anyway, that's what it boils down to. That's the margin right there. So 2% of 3 million. That's enough to sway this election for sure. So just by that being the case, they should do an audit. Two ballots out of 100 of random sample
600.
were fraudulent. Huh?
600,000.
Yeah. Yep. That's a 500,000 votes. 600,000 votes. That's more than enough to cover the gap. And that's only of those ballots that are blatantly fraudulent. Mm-hmm. There's millions of ballots with no ID. They just went and did it anyway. They went, oh, let's change the laws so that you don't need ID. No, well, we're going to do it anyway. We don't care what you do. So how can you run an election that way? There's no possible way to do it. And here's the other thing. Here's the last story, my last story of the day. We should all have stories, like our pet peeve. We're just unpacking the most ridiculous stories. Here's my clincher. Biden administration advisor Lauren Summers and CNN host Fareed Zakaria attended a meeting of the Communist Party conference hosted by Communist Party chair 3 weeks ago. They attended that as guests. That's all I got to say. I'm going to let people draw their own conclusion. And if you're on the left and you're not a communist or something like that, or what do they call it, social democrat? If you're not that and you think this is okay, Like, in other words, if you're on there, if you're all about socialism and communism, then yeah, that would, then you find some way to sidestep that. But if you're not, and that's okay. In other words, this guy Lawrence Summers is a Biden administrative advisor pick. He nominated this guy to be on his advisory team. And these guys are meeting with Chinese leaders. So, all I have to say is one word, 2 syllables, Wuhan. It's all yours.
It's time for me to introduce the signature. Oh, Biggie.
What is it? What is it?
Whenever it's too much for me, I'm gonna say, oh, Biggie. There's a story behind it.
I said I wouldn't cough all over the microphone, didn't I? There's one of my campaign promises that isn't. So,
What's the cat?
So who's going? Whose turn is it?
What's the cat?
It's Tony's turn. I did my share.
Oh, man. I can't even. You're such a hard act to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, I'll go last from now on then. But what do you want to talk about?
Save the best for last.
I don't know about that. Just say something, man. Just tell us a story. All right. If you don't have any news, you better have a story.
Oh man, come on.
You couldn't go through all this trouble of setting this, bringing this system up and what?
I'm a placeholder at this point. You really don't want to.
Wow, man. Can you believe this guy?
What's going on in the real life?
No. Don't you dare tell the truth.
Did you run that kitty cat off?
No, it's
Tony,
right.
did you run that cat off?
No,
not at all. He's trying to make the cat
here?
like move in here. He's feeding the cat by my door and shit. And I'm wondering why the cat. Come on, kitty.
Cat.
No. Yeah. Well, here's how much I care. There you go. She'll go to the door and meow outside the door. Can we talk about something other than the cats? I mean, we can always get some 3D and some 3D cat books and show people kittens.
I was trying to give the man a story.
He's got stories. Trust me. You got to get to know him.
Yeah.
But we're in this little bit of a brotherly conflict here where I'm trying to bring him onto the boat, but he's got to not pull us into the water. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're going that direction. But
give him half an hour.
Tell us what you did today. Not no personal stuff, but it's like what did you see today? What'd you do?
I saw this guy got out of jail after he received a 90-year sentence for marijuana, and he finally got out. One of the biggest injustices in South Florida that this attorney.
What was his name?
You give me a second.
No, it's all right. I just didn't know. Thought maybe it might be somebody I'm aware of. So I can always throw this back up.
Well, he finally got out.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? They let him out for whatever reason. And he lost his wife, 2 children.
Of course.
And, he never met his 2 grandchildren.
Wow.
And that's what is on his mind. He has no animosity towards the system. And he just wants to get on with what's left of his life. That's 71 years.
Wow.
He better go get a country song and play it backwards. Huh?
Right.
He was in prison for 71 years.
No, he's now 71, but he received a 90-year sentence for possession and distribution.
Or a roach or something.
Yeah, probably.
No, he was probably smuggling.
They didn't get to that, but it was definitely all.
Did they tell the story? Like, how much did he have? He had a lot. He wasn't just one a fucking ounce. Excuse me.
Maybe a boat. Maybe a boat full.
Whose fault was that? Big. Oh man, you guys are gonna start doing these southern statements. Yeah, you guys got me cornered on that.
Right.
So that's Gino's things. Big.
All
right. So
what is that?
So that's a pretty sad story. But the guy's out now, and we don't know his name. But boy, I'd like to call him and talk to him.
Right.
I would love to interview the guy because 2 years, 2.5 or whatever it was, 2 years. I don't even, I guess I'm trying to bury it, but
it was a while.
Every day seemed like a year, bro.
It's
Every
Richard.
day.
Yeah.
His name is Richard De Lisa. Lisa.
Alicia.
D-E, capital D-E, capital L-I-S-I.
Delisi.
Yeah, it was
So time dilated on you, huh?
Wow.
90-year prison sentence for selling marijuana.
In
Man,
Florida,
right.
which isn't even really
You,
part of the South.
you couldn't keep yourself occupied enough to for it just dragged on every day, huh?
Right. It was
Dude, you keep yourself occupied.
right.
It's just
It was still the longest day of the
Right.
life.
the longest year of my life, longest 2 years of my life.
Let's see. His wife died. His 23-year-old son died.
Wow.
Both his parents. His adult daughter.
Wow.
Um,
His life,
you
wow, his life was, damn, I want to pray for the guy.
just walked out of prison Tuesday morning, grateful, unresentful as he hugged his cheerful family after 31
What
years.
cheerful family? They're all gone.
Right. I mean, whatever's left.
Wow.
He's serving 31 years. Um,
God.
I want to talk to that guy, man. I want to call him. Can just tell me,
Right.
like, because
right.
look, I don't, it might have sounded like that at some point or another, but I've never felt sorry for myself. If I lament over it, it's certainly not the whiny, oh, why me? I mean, I did it knowingly,
Right.
I know what I did, and I just didn't think it should be such a big deal, and that's why, sorry, man, I should know better than to fiddle around, because I hear every little thing you do over there, and then I just reached out for that. This is, and this the chair squeaking and everything, all that comes out. But on Mr. DeLisi, like, think about it, man. 2 years versus how long was he in there?
31 years. Which
It's a good thing you didn't get your judge.
It calls
Even
me,
life.
yeah, it calls me. It gives me shortness of breath to even think of how confined that place is. And Anthony and I have discussed. He's like, how do you stay in that camper so much? Because I can't really attract a lot of attention to the camper.
Because you can walk.
No, it's not. It's just because this is the only space I rent. It's not like I can set up a patio outside or something and sun, and get some sun. I go to the pool or something. But my point is that this is Taj Mahal compared to any cell I've. I went to 9 different facilities, and that's not including the county jails. Altogether, I visited 9 prisons. 6 of them were here, and a few coming across the country. The rest were county jails.
mhm.
And
Not to mention that bus that went through the pass, huh?
what? Oh my God! We should tell that story some night here. I never planned on talking about everything that happened to me because I don't want people to think. But yeah, that story
Donner
alone.
Pass.
Yeah, Donner Pass, man. I saw the edge of that mountain. I saw the lake down there at the bottom. Like that, if that dude would have slid through that guardrail, they wouldn't. We were done. I mean, the cops would have had hard time getting out of that bus, but us, those dudes, if they did make it to the shore, they would have been like, "I'm sorry, fellas, but we can't go to get you."
No.
There's the double locked door in between us and the air. Little slits in the windows like this. That's all you get to see. And there's the inner door that's locked and the outer door, and we're shackled. How are you going to get out of that? I mean, as soon as that truck hits the water, man, and this guy was sliding all over the place in that van. It was like an animal control van. And these guys they introduce themselves as federal agents, but what they are independent contractors that are, deputized or whatever federally to move prisoners back and forth. And these guys wouldn't know one end of the, of a tailpipe from the other. They're carrying guns, and these guys are more dangerous than criminals are with a gun. I was, and they just like they're playing secret agent, and they lied their teeth off to the state troopers that had Donner Pass closed on this California side.
Mhm.
And they bullshitted their way through. He lied right to the trooper's face. He's like, "That's 4-wheel drive van, right?" He's like, "Yeah." Fuck it was. It wasn't even. It was a heavy duty van. It wasn't a 4-wheel drive. So
Somebody pushes.
we ran into a tractor trailer. A tractor trailer ran into us. We did it 2.5, like a 360.5. When we almost slid off the road. And
It was iced, wasn't it? Pretty much iced over.
yeah, and he's got this big, huge van with like all these people in it. So people are, like a dynamic load. It's not a.
Gosh.
It was the worst. That was the worst driving experience of my life. He fell asleep like 3 or 4 times in on the road on the highway in Arizona. Went off the road and everything. We're like, here we go, fellas. We all had it like together. We're like, okay, if the thing rips open, who's running? Because I'm not running, man. I don't run. I'm going to sit right there, if I live through it. We're talking about that stuff.
Hitchhike.
And we got the guys up front, the people who would get in trouble and get made to sit up front. They would make them sit up. It was just like, I don't know, man. It was really surreal. It was really surreal. It was like being on the school bus and, all right, little Johnny, you're misbehaving. You come up here and sit. Oh, Mom. What the hell? So the guy up front would be the guy that would be watching the road because he could actually see. And he'd be like, okay, man, he's falling asleep again. And the dude would wake up and I ain't falling asleep. It was just, it was a sitcom, really. It was like
Even making squeaking noises.
Death Race America. Join us now as we join the 7 convicts in the heavy duty Chevy van with the 2, Keystone cops. And in the intro, the 2 guys draw their weapons like they're secret agents, but mistakenly shoot each other in the foot.
I just shot
Can you see it? Can you see
How
it?
How long did that transport take?
9 days.
Damn it.
9 days.
Yeah.
9 days. Whew. Yeah. When they dumped me out in Cobb County, man, I just said, roll me. They said, take him to the infirmary. Like, get out of the movies. I was like, thank you. Thank you for taking me out of that thing.
Did you stop every day, or did you just keep driving?
Some days we stopped twice. Some days we just kept driving for a couple of days. Hey, we backtracked back to California twice. From like we got to Arizona and New Mexico. I'm like, we're over the line. We're over the line. We're gonna keep going now. Well, we'll go back to LA to pick up some prisoner. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. People need to know about this. That prisoner transport system. That is like,
Let's do a show about that.
hey, that's what brought to me the whole concept of how we are slaves in this time and right now, all of us. There ain't no white people, black people, minority, Hispanic, or we, all of us. All they did was move the walls of the plantation back. Ooh, I like that sound effect.
I'll be real good from now on.
No, man. It's none of that. It's not. Yeah, that's not even. To me, that's not like. That ain't funny shit. It's real serious. I'm serious about that. We basically slept too long. It was our parents and our grandparents were so happy to get out of World War II, and then we started those. Half-assed wars, I guess I could call them. There were conflicts that it wasn't open warfare. Korean War.
No
Go
trip,
from there all the way.
No
forward.
tripwire. No.
And we were so happy that. So we started enjoying America, and that's when the bankers in the corporate, I call them corporations, corrupt corporations. That's when they just basically solidified their infrastructure. And us being those, all of us are little babies with those registration numbers stamped in our head on our birth certificates. So that's just money. It just represents. Now, you can call that a conspiracy theory if you want, because, I've been called that before. But if you don't already know that and you think that's a conspiracy theory, I feel sorry for you. You shouldn't feel sorry for me that I'm a conspiracy theorist. You just don't understand. You know, Zappa said they will maintain the facade as long as it's beneficial and financially viable to do so. But the day it doesn't make any sense anymore for them and they don't have to deal with it anymore, they're going to move all the tables and chairs out of the way and open the curtain in the back of the room, and you're going to see the brick wall. Zappa said that. I never forgot that. So that's the good news. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it turns out that the reason that the fellow was given such a lengthy sentence and done so wrong is they assumed because of his thick Italian accent that he was affiliated with the mob, and that's why they later investigated that this pro bono attorney, which is the part of the last prisoner, what is the last prisoner attorney group to bring about the last prisoner for doing all these cases for free, found out that he had absolutely no way of being involved in the mob, and that, as a matter of fact, he was against that type of lifestyle. But the judge falsely assumed that that's what he was doing, so he got such a lengthy sentence, and now he's actually been exonerated, and he's got a clear slate as far as they gave him immunity or whatever.
Wow.
But
you believe that shit?
What's he going to do with it now that he's 71? And he's still thankful just to be out. Because
what are they going to do with him?
I mean, what's he going to do?
They need to give him $1 million first of all, so that he doesn't have to worry about money for the short period of his life that he has in front of him.
I need to make him a cart. Maybe I'll give him one of my carts.
Well, it turns out that his family, what he had left of family, had invested in like $850,000 in attorney fees and things like that, and almost $100,000 worth of long distance international phone calls, because his brother or whatever, now like his nephew and his son live in Amsterdam, and they're trying to get him over there so that he can just enjoy the rest of his life, doing what he wants to.
Yeah, that might be good, especially if he likes cannabis, which I don't know how I would feel about cannabis after spending 30-something years in prison for it.
Right.
That's just so terrible, man. It's just terrible. Terrible news. But
at least he's out.
Great story. I'm glad
he doesn't die.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that story up. That's a issue that I'm very concerned with, as you probably know. We didn't even discuss that. That was just a natural thing for him to pull that story. So.
Well, we also have Lil Wayne. He pleaded guilty to some weapons charges, and now he's looking at 20 years possibly for just being an actor.
You know why? Lil Wayne is one of those truth-telling guys.
Right.
He told the truth about politics and shit. He said, "Look, I like Trump."
Right.
And he told the truth about a lot of stuff.
And he pled guilty to whatever they said.
I never. Well, there you go.
Yeah, you got me. You know what I'm saying?
But
there's nobody for me.
When it comes to those people, when it comes to people like that, like me, I told the truth too. I didn't expect to get just a slap on the wrist, but I didn't expect them to try to put me in jail in prison for 40 years, 30 years. So, that's a shame for him. If it was any other celebrity, practically, I would have said, I don't want to talk about celebrities. But when I saw what he said on TV, like he was just like, in a sense, he was saying, I don't really want to be a part of this. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. Let's talk about that. If you ask me my opinion, I'm going to tell you. But that's what they do. They sort of trap these people into, saying something that they can jump on and get notoriety out of. And that's one of the reasons I'd rather talk to regular people. I just want regular people to come on this show, and we have to have some kind of an organization format, but that's part of it. It's just like, and the other thing is that not to have people just call into the show just to be, although we can do that now.
Why don't you let the
we've got
your phone number.
we've got the ability to take callers, but that's not, I'd rather somebody say, hey, I would like to be on the show. I want to talk about this, and this. and then we'll have them on the show. Just regular people, just come on the show. If they talk too long, or if they, nobody can do worse than me. I mean, but if they come on the show and they, we'll just tell them beforehand, and just give them some pointers, and then let's hear what people have to say, like the extended of the man on the street interviews. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's not a great idea. There's probably good reasons why people haven't done that. But Mark, what's his name? There's a couple of people who do that. Go out and talk to people, and I always find that really interesting. Where they
Man in the street.
That's what I call it, man on the street thing, or woman on the street. Yeah,
human on the street.
But anyway, we need to end this. We need to end this stream probably pretty soon. Because if they remove it, like we're almost an hour now, 50 minutes, 37 seconds of purely useless information that we present to you, sponsored
maybe
by
I can get us kicked off.
Hard Donuts. What?
How about?
Yeah, and then
I'd like to come out and support dwarf tossing. I think they need a job, and we'll see if that'll get us kicked out.
All right, Mr. T.
So there you have it. That is an installation of what we call the Reek of Stench. It's really partially testing this system, so that so that the people we're actually doing more serious, I guess, producing for, can rely on our system better when we go to record for them and stuff. But it's also going to be for us. So, I think we got it going pretty much. What were the few things we had to do? There's some switching problems. We've got the telephone thing settled in. I don't want to give my phone away, my personal cell phone number away, just on the
just yet.
Yeah. I'll do that to people but I'm not gonna advertise it on YouTube, dude. Yeah, they're already trying to hack us, right? So
I mean,
somebody's trying to steal our channel, according to Google.
Yeah. You better get one of those $35 a month phone lines.
Hey man, text now.
I don't know. Yeah, or we could just give them your number.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
They'll have a good time with me.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine you answering the phone. Here. What is it? Oh gosh! How could I forget her name? The pig. Have the pig squeal on the phone and stuff. So
be able to snap up pictures.
So what? Some of the topics we have coming up soon are we're going to have like a Masonic Q and A. We're going to have a few people that want to talk about Freemasonry, and so we'll be talking about that.
I'm interested.
Well, we're gonna have, we started. He mentioned it the other day, and he started asking me and making comments on it and asking me, and I said, maybe we could do this online, because I had already written on my group, my Facebook group, and I told him that I would have to dedicate a little bit of this to dispelling some of this ridiculousness. It's gone so long because we don't spend a lot of time defending ourselves because we're too busy doing. People say some pretty crazy things, and we're just like, yeah, okay.
To respond would give power to it.
That's true, certainly. But however, this is the age of information, and that some of the ridiculousness has been spreading so much that people just have come to. There's 3 generations of people that believe, Freemasons worship the devil. Meanwhile, the Church of Satan has 50 locations in America or whatever, and is operating out in the open. I mean, in Hollywood and in plenty of other places, the Church of Satan does. But it goes right by him. I don't. I still haven't come to understand some of the psyche. There's a certain acceptable level of schizophrenia in this country, and now talk about. I don't know about systemic racism. I don't believe that, but it is a system, and in this country you have. It's in the founding documents that you're obligated to take part in it. So, and even if I'm a slave and I just gained my freedom, I know that I can this is the best system because I have a chance to be a part of. You know what I mean? It's not. So what? The rich and elite people, the evil. Well, they might be ahead of the game, you know, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. You know?
It's something inside is decomposed.
Yeah, but we as long as we have the freedom to get involved and act and in other words participate in government, which is that window's closing like a little bit every day. When it was this big, we didn't notice it. We've been complacent since our grandparents' time, when it went right through our parents' time. Now the eyes closing and we're like, holy shit, it's our freedoms are So we have to, if we don't participate, shit that just what happened on November 2nd is going to happen. That's just the way it is, man. Anyway,
Who
we'll
was
see if
that
we can
that
get
came
Ron
out
in
with
here.
the piece about? Who came out with that piece about the founding fathers fought with their lives to get freedom, and we gave it up over illness?
Oh, that was me. That meme. Yeah, but a month later, I see somebody that did it with the thing of Washington, and that was cool. They said, I'll use it as a thumbnail. It says they crossed the Potomac. They're not theirs, but this is the gist. They crossed the Potomac, froze in sub-freezing weather, with no shoes on their feet and nothing to eat. Fought at Valley
Yeah.
Forge. Won, took prisoners, and won that. And that basically, pretty much, you know, that had a big deal. That was a big victory. And then all just so that modern people could, I don't know, I can't remember what it says. It's hilarious. All that so you could be afraid to get a cold or flu. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's just true. I don't care. Whatever they want to say, they can say, but it's true. You know, yeah, I believe it was released on purpose. That nothing happens in politics by mistake. It's true. And yeah, I mean, it's a bad sickness. If you're already compromised in one way or another, you got to watch out. But it's pretty obvious who it's killed and who it hasn't. You know, I mean, what did Tom Hanks have it twice or something? Now it's like something if you get it twice. I'm just kidding. I think you get immune, but you know, you get a bonus or a Nobel Prize or something. All right,
He's got it 3 times.
So-
That'd be the new prize, right?
Third time's a charm.
we're almost on an hour, so let's give it up and let's let's record something tomorrow night too. But we're recording Bill Westrom's. We're gonna catch episode 5 tomorrow, so that'll be in the can. So episode 4 is going up tomorrow, or late tonight if it comes back from Derek editing. And anybody got anything else to say? 2 minutes.
No.
1 minute for Anthony. 1 minute for Gino.
Yeah, he can have my minute.
Oh,
Who's your hero? Mine's George Washington.
mine's Arthur Ashe. I mean, I got a lot of them. Just depends on what, you know.
I don't.
Yeah.
Only a
I have
few.
to say, Tommy
Neil
Tatum.
Armstrong.
Tommy Tatum, greatest man I ever met in the flesh. You know, told me everything I know about
Your
Jesus.
dad.
Yeah,
Okay.
brought me on to Jesus.
That's a good way to end this. So listen, man, we'll reconvene tomorrow. We try to go on at midnight, but it doesn't always work out that way. We really and that's what we're shooting for, is to get consistent. And that just takes a certain, like, spinning everything up. And we've got this, what do they call it? What do I call it? The reboot sequence for Apollo 13. But all right, man. I'm gonna. If you get a look at this, let me know what's going on, Gino. We'll talk tomorrow.
All righty. Good night, guys.
All right, man. And you people can see us tomorrow too. I was banging at something here.
You people.
Yeah, use people.
You guys.
Use guys.
You people.
Be sure and tune in. Make sure you watch the series with Bill Westrom, and with the Bishop, with Gregory. And other than that, just watch for our content, because we've got a lot of stuff planned, but it's just unrolling methodically. So anyway, goodbye for now. Say goodbye to Anthony. Goodbye, Anthony. Say goodbye, Thomas. Goodbye, Thomas. Say goodbye, Gino. See you guys later, man.
Good night, Dick.